We have the M-Booster active pedal here, and you might be wondering, why have you put it on the far left-hand side like a dirty socialist, rather than in the middle where your brake pedal is? And also, why is there a brake pedal next to the active pedal when you're not using the active pedal as a clutch, but you're using it as a brake? Well, that is what I'm going to explain in this video. This is stupid, but I actually think it's a good idea despite it being stupid, and if it works, it's no longer stupid. At least that's what I tell myself. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to, if you like more stupid ideas delivered directly to you, and if you enjoyed this stupid idea, click the like button. So, following on from our review of the M-Booster active pedal from Moser, I've been messing around with it a bit more, and we came up with this configuration. And to explain things as quickly as possible, let's get into it. So normally you put the clutch on the left hand side of your pedal tray, and your brake would be in the middle and your accelerator on the right. However, if you are driving Formula cars, GT cars, or most modern cars, you don't use a clutch. You're normally using sequential shifters either on your wheel or separately a sequential shifter. And me personally, I'm normally driving sequential cars and GT3 and F4 and F3, and I'm not normally driving H-pattern cars that much. So it's much more comfortable having the brake pedal and the accelerator straight on, so as if you had a car with just two pedals. So your legs are nice and straight, you're not having to like bend your left knee over, everything's nice and straight. Now, the issue with that normally is if you've got a clutch, there's our clutch down here, it's just chilling now, it's not plugged in. But normally if you've got a clutch, or you want to use a clutch, you have to put your clutch on the left hand side, and you're going to have to put your brake on the right, and so you're going to have to do the wonky knee thing whenever you want to drive, if you occasionally want to use a H pattern. However, the beauty with an M-Booster active pedal, or any active pedal from any company, is that it can be both a clutch or an accelerator, or a brake, depending on what you want. And what that means is, if I put this here, and we've got another brake here, and the accelerator here, most of the time I can have the M-Booster set up as a brake, and that's just a solid brake now, and my accelerator's here, and my feet are in line, and it's super comfortable. However, if I want to drive a H-pattern car and use a clutch, I can just go into the software for the pedal, and I can just go right, set it to clutch, and we can even set up like a digressive clutch pattern or whatever we want here, because it's just an active pedal, we can do whatever. We can set that up to just be a clutch, right? And now we have this as the brake, so we can now clutch, accelerate, heel and toe, and we've not had to move anything. We've just got a way more comfortable simulator at a very low effort. And also, actually, I would say, if you're driving H-pattern, having like a clutch with a sort of really obvious bite point on it and stuff is actually probably nicer than having a really sort of highly customized and configured brake. I'd imagine most H-pattern cars, the brake would just be whatever it is, a bit whatever. So not having an active brake is perfectly fine. Now, obviously, if you were really rich, if you were filthy stinking rich, you could just have 3 active pedals. But I actually think for people that aren't mega loaded, putting your active pedal on the left, so your feet are in line like this, and then you could configure it however you want as a brake, and then putting another brake in the middle and you accelerate on the right, I think this could actually be one of the optimal configurations. It seems to be working great. We did an 8-hour live stream yesterday with things like this, and it was really nice. Now I'm going to mention this in this video because people probably ask, what's going on here? What's this thing? Well, that's a wrist rest for a keyboard, and I use that as an ankle rest, and that's really comfortable. So you can buy, this is from a Razer keyboard because I don't like using them on a keyboard, so this is just one I had spare. You can buy them on Amazon. I would say you really want one that's like got a hard bottom on it. You don't want a too jelly one and a too rounded one. You need a flatter kind of rest. Or you could just fashion something out of whatever. But if you just want a jobby off the internet that's done, a keyboard wrist rest that's quite flat with a hard bottom, that raises your feet, it raises your ankle up as well, gives you a cushion, gets you good angle on pedals. Also, these are the housing veiled ultimate pedals, and they've got quite high pedal faces, and so doing this I found gets my feet in a nicer position on them. So that's what that is. And then this is a wooden board here that I just used to put this on to raise it up to the perfect height. I like to have things set up to like the basically to the millimeter. I get, you know, I spend we do like at least 5 hours a day on average sim racing all through the year, so for me it's really important to have everything like really nicely dialed in. But having a bit of wood as well to also be able to rest your feet on and stuff is really quite nice. So that explains that for those of you that will question it. And then behind it, those are the Thrustmaster pendular rudder pedals, which actually we can take this off and then they can be stuck in front. Actually, I think I leave this on. I'm talking rubbish. I just stick them on here. This is why there's Velcro on this, because the pendular rudder pedals stick on there, and then I can just do flight sim by moving my chair back. Also, if you watch we've got the Moser joystick on here, the force feedback joystick. You can use that as a sequential shifter as well, and you can alternate that. But we also use that as a joystick for flight sims, and then I put the rudder pedals on the rig. So there you go, guys. What a tale. But that gives you an idea of like the versatility that you get from having active pedals. And even though I do think active pedals are they're definitely more on the luxurious side, and I don't necessarily think they are the best value for money necessarily. I do like the features of them. Watch our review of the Moser one, and we've got some videos with the Simrig active pedal. I do think they're amazing, but I don't think you should feel forced to buy it. It's not like, oh, that's the end game of all sim racing. Well, maybe it is. But you could do fine with just budget pedals, you know. Don't feel like you're missing out. But putting the cost and everything to one side, it is really nice being able to use them like this and get more out of them and all that loveliness. So, yes, hopefully this was a useful video for you. Probably good for 2 viewers. But if so, thank you for watching. I'm glad you two that enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video that we do. Until then, happy tea drinking, take care, and goodbye everyone.